22. And the likeness of the firmament above the heads of the living creatures was as the color of awesome crystal, stretched forth over their heads above. In Ezekiel 10, verse 1, Then I looked, and behold, in the firmament that was above the head of the cherubim, there appeared over them as it were a sapphire stone, as the appearance of the likeness of a throne. The firmament is strong, and acts as a magnifying glass from Yahweh's perspective. Job 37:18. Have you with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten looking glass? Isaiah 40:22. He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and spreads them out like a tent to live in. The firmament is strong enough to support its creator. Job 22:14. Clouds are a hiding place for him, so that he cannot see, and he walks on the vault of heaven. The firmament will roll back like a scroll at the return of our Messiah on the day of the Lord. Revelation 6:14. And the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
Close your mouth and open your mind. Code 2, Part 2.
And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good.
This is why thunder and lightning prove the dome above us. The sound of the thunder proves that there is a dome above us, because thunder doesn't produce multiple explosions, rather it produces one explosion sound. In order to have an echo, you'll need to be inside a closed area, because sound waves needs to hit an object for an echo to occur. Here is a video of a guy blowing a balloon inside a nuclear power plant.
Okay, you guys remember how I showed you the maps that were here on Earth before 1958, before the governments took them out. And I'm going to show you the Encyclopedia Britannicas in the public libraries before 1958. Here's volume 2 out of the alphabet A. And we're going to flip to the Antarctica, and this is from 1958, as you can see. Now, we're going to flip to the Antarctica and see what the Encyclopedia Britannica from 1958, before the Antarctic Treaty, says is there. Now, you won't find this in the new encyclopedias because the government's banned them. But what I want you to notice right here is, notice how it says the flights proved inland areas to be featureless in character, with a dome 13,000 feet high at about latitude 80 degrees south, longitude 90 degrees east. Take a really close look at that. Now I'm going to zoom it in for you. When they returned to New Zealand, these flights proved the inland areas to be featureless in character, with a dome 13,000 feet high at about latitude 80 degrees south, longitude 90 degrees east. Now, if this doesn't make sense to you, let me show you with an image of what a flat earth map would look like. Now, this is what a latitude 80 degrees south would look like on a flat earth map. As you can see, the dome comes down closer to you over the wall, which will be about 13,000 feet. Now, if you go back out into the center of the earth, or up the North Pole, and try to go up to the firmament with a little bit of calculation, it's going to show that it's about 385,500 feet away. It's really simple, folks. Now, if you're not familiar with any of this at all,
Skin that hair, everybody gone bad. Situation, aggravation, everybody allegation. In the suit, in the news, everybody duck food. Bang bang, shot dead, everybody's gone mad. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. Oh no, all I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. In the Hollywood basement, space may be the final frontier, but it's made in the Hollywood basement.
Have you ever dreamed of going up to outer space? Or maybe meeting other beings from another place? Have you ever wondered what it's like on other planets? Then you watch a science show and come to believe you understand it? You feel empowered by the knowledge and you feel enlightened, listening to Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson. But then you wake up and you start to see the obvious. Life is just a lie and this whole world ain't what we thought it was. NASA's missions to the moon were never completed. They just filmed them in a room and people believe it. I used to wonder what it's like to be an astronaut. Now when I see them acting, I can't help but to laugh a lot. They give us cartoons and they claim that we live on a ball, but it's flat and it's...
Do we live under a firmament? Have we ever actually left Earth? Some conspiracy theorists think the Earth is flat and that we live under a firmament.
Next on the conspiracy iceberg, we have shell/firmament Earth. This idea also comes from the Bible in the book of Genesis, that before the Great Flood, the Earth was covered in a firmament or solid dome of water. It's also mentioned that the firmament was destroyed in the flood. But some conspiracy theorists say that there's still a firmament and that the Earth is still wrapped within a shell that we cannot leave. This theory ties into further on theories in the iceberg like hollow Earth and space is fake, and the high altitude nuclear tests that we'll get into later, so follow if you want to hear more.
Boom, there it was. I saw it. Boom! Man, the plume in this camera looks crazy. Boom, there it was. I saw it. Boom!
Hey brother, here's a much closer look at Altair for you. I can go even further than this. This is 500x, but if you go too far, it can start to blur out on you or pixelate a little bit. And you know, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it nice and crisp for you, so I only stayed at 500x. I can go to 800 pretty easy, but like I said, if you do that, it can tend to blur out on you and pixelate, and you don't want that. But if you pause it or take a screenshot just right, you'll actually see a face here in the middle. It's so wild. A lot of people don't know how to pick this up, but if you focus the telescope just right, you can see a similar design in almost every star.
Rocket hit the firmament and bounce off. Now try telling me we are not living in a dome. This is crazy. Watch this rocket hit the firmament and bounce off. Now try telling me we are not living in a dome. This is crazy. Watch this rocket hit the firmament and bounce off. Now try telling me we are not living in a dome.
Of Africa. World map. And this is wrong. What if I told you that from here to here, it's 6,400 kilometers, but from here to here, which only looks like half the size, is 7,200. The continent of Africa has been shown smaller than it actually is. What if I told you that Greenland was only this size? Or Russia was this size? Or the US and Canada were much smaller? You know what? This is the real map. Look at Sweden, Finland, and Norway. They're much smaller now. Or Greenland is tiny. Maybe